So say I'm making my bed, cleaning the room, cooking. I'm listening to something passively. If you made every single shogakusei in Japan watch 2 hours of English shows every day, they'd be fluent by the time they're 18.
There you go, that's how we solve the problem. Konnichiwa, good afternoon, what's up? It's RUPA sensei here, and I'm back with the one and only Nick Nissan. How you doing, brother?
What's up, everyone? He always has a good handshake. He has a very strong handshake.
Which is very important.
そう、アメリカとかオーストラリアとかイギリスは弱いね、握手だと弱い人間だと思われる。
I do a lot of business here in Japan, and because I'm a foreigner, they won't do the bow, they'll go in for a handshake, but it's always a little bit of a limp fish.
It needs to be deep, 結構深くて、でグリップが強い。
Yeah.
Yeah, we call it a fish hand.
Yeah, dead fish.
Dead fish. All right.
And the trick is to look at the elbow when you're going in for the handshake.
Really?
So if you look at the elbow,
Oh,
yeah.
皆さん、俺知らなかったそれ。
Same as if you're doing a high five.
How much does your lesson cost?
There you go.
All right.
All right. Anyway, Nick Nissan. 多分何回もこのチャンネルに行ったことあるんですけど、皆さんもし見ていたない場合、軽くの自己紹介お願いします。
Yeah, my name is Nick. I'm about almost 15, not 15, man, 12 years older than you.
Yeah, that's right.
37歳、今年ね。で、I've been in Japan for about 15 years and I do manzai. I'm in a big company called Sun Music. 多分皆さんは知ってると思う。いろんな有名なお笑い芸人がいるんだけど。And I do a little bit of YouTube, a little bit of Insta, a little bit of Twitter. I teach English. So, and we're good buddies. We met for lunch one day, and ever since we've been friends.
That's it. And a really big project being announced soon.
Yeah.
So you guys stay tuned for that.
You wait for that.
That's it. Thanks for that great introduction. And the topic of today's video is going to be all about language immersion.
Sure.
So, and also some of the merits that we've had from learning a second language and even third language in your case. So it's going to be a really great video. So let's get into it.
Sure. Basically, what I'm going to teach you guys today is almost enough for you to just start right away. I had a plan in mind to basically be like, here are the bare basics of what you have to do.
Yeah, so learn from the master. Let's learn from the master today. So Nick Nissan, what is immersion?
Okay, well, let me go a little bit back.
Okay.
You mind? So when you want to start learning a language, we're adults, right?
Yeah.
So if we were babies, our parents wouldn't just give us a grammar book and be like, hey, 3-year-old, study English, or study Japanese, and we study it, and then we learn it, right? That's not how it works.
Not at all.
We're immersing. We're hearing our parents talk to us every single day. What many adults do, what I've done with Japanese, is we study.
Yeah.
We look at the grammar, we look at words, and for me, this is my opinion, especially in Japan, because you guys all learn English from when you're shogakusei.
Right.
I don't think you should be studying for more than 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Big claim, yeah, because a lot of Japanese, they'll study for over
Forever.
10 years.
Well, if you have to study for a test, then you do have to study.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about actually learning the language.
Yeah, language for communication.
Yes, language for communication. So say you want to make Legos.
Yeah.
You look at the instructions first. That's what the studying is. And then you start building the Legos.
Eventually, you got to start, developing your own creativity, trying things
Exactly.
out.
So step 1 is studying.
Yeah.
Now, you asked, what is immersion?
Yeah.
Immersion is very simple. It used to mean, I'm an American, I want to learn Japanese, I'm moving to Japan, and I'm going to listen to Japanese every day by Japanese people.
That's what you did, right?
Just listening. That's all you do. That's what immersion is. So if you want to immerse in English, you stop watching any Japanese movies, any Japanese shows, any Japanese music, and you only watch American, English, Australian content with or without English subtitles.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
And it's very interesting because the research, there's a very famous linguistic professor named Stephen Krashen, and he had a very interesting speech. And he said they've tried every type of exercise, every type of test, every type of drill to teach people how to learn. And everybody's unique in the way they learn, but nobody's unique in the way they acquire a language. It's all through immersion and input. Input's listening or reading. So you always hear like, みんなは自分なりの学び方がある.
Yeah.
But actually, we're always obsessed with how different everybody is when there's the same way to learn for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. I think learning a language is a lot different than learning like maths.
No, totally different.
Yeah, learning a language is more like going to the gym or learning a sport.
Yes. So, you could study all you want, but if you don't listen to English, and I say 2 hours a day, at least 2 hours a day, but people don't have that time.
Yeah.
So say you have an hour, do it an hour a day. But if you're just going to be studying with a pen, which Japanese people love to do, you'll never get fluent. You have to listen. And when I say listen, I mean watch a Netflix show in English.
Yeah.
Or watch something in English an hour a day or 2 hours a day or 3 hours a day. I'm doing this with Spanish.
Yeah.
And I did 3 to 5 hours a day for the first 3 months.
Okay, so let's dive into that. If someone, they've just heard Immersion for the first time, they kind of knew about it, but, they're finally seeing the light.
Yeah.
And they want to set up their own immersion routine. What should they do?
Okay, so what I do is the minute I wake up in the morning, I have a podcast on.
Ready to go.
Ready to go. So while I'm making food, there's two different, or a couple types of immersion. One is called judo tekina listening, passive immersion.
Okay.
And that's the type of immersion you do while you do a simple task.
Really?
So say I'm making my bed, cleaning the room, cooking, I'm listening to something passively.
Interesting. I feel like that's got a lot of benefits.
It does have a lot of benefits, and the benefits of that is because you can do it for a very long period of time. You can do passive immersion on the train on the way to work. You can do it while you're walking. You can do it while you're biking. You can do it while you're cleaning. Yeah. So passive immersion is always quantity over quality.
Yeah, I think that's really great because a lot of people say, I don't have time. But then they wash the dishes or something, or they're commuting to work and they're not doing anything. They're just sitting on the train like this. Use that time to acquire a language.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, people look at their phones. I think on average, it was some eight hours or some insane amount.
Yeah.
If you changed, even if you brought it down to 7 hours, you would have at least 1 hour of passive immersion.
Exactly.
Now, there's another type of immersion, and this is when you have a screen in front of you. It can be a TV, it can be a computer, it can be your phone, and you're watching a show. You're watching, let's say, Friends or Full House. You've done a video on Full House. And you watch it with English subtitles or no English subtitles. That's called active immersion.
Okay.
Active immersion. And with active immersion, you're actually learning more than you are with passive immersion, obviously, because you're concentrating fully.
Yeah.
That's the key.
And what should all the learners be focusing on? Should they be stopping every time they hit a new word or new grammar point?
So there's two types of active immersion.
Yeah.
One is called 自由的な immersion.
Okay.
And that's when you just watch it from beginning to end, and if you don't know something, you just let it go.
Okay.
Almost 90% of my immersion is that.
Okay.
90%. So I always get questions from Japanese people. What should I do if I can't understand something? Give 10% of your time. So I'd say 10 minutes or 20 minutes, say, a day. 20 minutes is a lot. Let's say 15 minutes of you can stop and look things up. But the rest of it, you let it go. And you know why it works if you let it go?
How so?
Let's say you're a 3-year-old and you are thirsty.
Yeah.
And I say to you, do you want water? You won't understand what I say. But if you watch me with a glass of water and I say, do you want water? If he sees it 100 times, he's acquired the word that water means something to drink.
Yeah.
So if you watch Full House and you see the same word or same phrase over the amount of seasons you watch, through context, 文脈で習得ができる。
めっちゃいい。
Yeah.
Really great, really good. And I'm quoting Matt vs. Japan from our last video. He said, わかんないだからこそもっと見るべき。
あとこういうアドバイスするときにいろんな、一番よく反論として出てくるのが、でも見てもわかんない。だからできないって言うんだけど、わかんないからこそ見るべきなんだよね。
Yes. So this is very hard to convince Japanese people. So immersion is popular all over the world. 今もどんな国でもイマージョンが一番いい方法ってみんなわかってんだけど、なぜか日本でまだ流行ってないの。I don't know.
なんでしょうか?
Well, I mean, obviously, there's less money to be made when you could just say, hey,
just watch Netflix.
Yeah, just watch Netflix. If you made every single shogakusei in Japan watch 2 hours of English shows every day, they'd be fluent by the time they're 18.
There you go. That's how we solve the problem.
A lot of people who want to study English are parents. A lot of women, middle-aged women, and they're like, I can't. I work and I have kids. And my advice every time is do this for your kids. Make it all English content all the
Right.
time because your kids will get better faster than you.
Yeah, you can learn together.
You interviewed what are they the brothers
SYR brothers.
Do you think that the SYR brothers learned English by notes? They're not old enough to do that.
Not at all.
What did their parents do? They just made them watch
TV,
That's
Disney.
it.
Yeah.
すごくないですかテレビを見るだけでそんなにね習得ができる。I took a trip to Europe for work a month ago. All of the small countries speak English fluently.
Right.
And all the big countries don't.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
I have no idea.
Because big countries, like let's say France or Germany, they have so much money in entertainment that they can make amazing TV shows in their own language. Where the smaller countries don't have the money to make it, so they're just like, screw it, we'll just put on American films, and they don't overdub and they don't put subtitles on. So all the little kids at first can't understand anything until they start understanding it. So they're forced to immerse in English.
Very interesting.
And we know that Japan is probably one of the biggest countries with TV shows.
Yeah.
日本はすごい流行ってるから it's impossible for people to learn English because there's so many good Japanese TV shows.
Yeah, with all the anime and Japanese dramas and stuff, people don't really have a reason.
So,
little kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So to put it back in perspective, number one, study the language. You can use, I'm sure RUPA sensei has study contents. Tons of people have study contents. You learn it in school. Number two, immerse, and it takes years.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying, get good in 1 month, get fluent in 1 month. There's a lot of Japanese programs for Americans like that. And I'm always like,
oh no, dude.
yeah, no way.
Yeah.
So it's going to take you a long time. And then number three, step three is start writing and start speaking.
Exactly. Hey, you learn it straight from the master.
So to give an example, say you want some water.
Yeah.
You want some water and you have a glass. You can't just drink an empty glass. You have to input the water.
Yeah.
That's what the input is, actually putting the content. So you're putting the English in your mind. You're learning the English. Then you can drink it. You can let it come out.
There you go.
So it's always study, input, output, and then finally is social dynamics.
Yeah.
And social dynamics, ちょっと日本語で説明するんだけど、ある国の人たちの文化、心理とか、
考え方ね。
そう、考え方、交流のやり方。で、日本と例えばオーストラリアとかアメリカの social dynamics are totally different.
全然違う。
We actually taught you one today. We did,
The handshake.
Exactly, the handshake. So that's something they don't do in Japan.
And
So-
eye contact as well.
Eye contact.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really interesting because I'm immersing in Spanish. I'm studying Spanish just like you guys are studying English right now. I'm doing the exact same thing. And the social dynamics of Spanish-speaking countries are so close to English-speaking countries.
Right.
It's easy.
Yeah.
But Japan is so different.
It is.
So you need to study because you can be fluent in English, but if you don't know the social dynamics of it, like, say, the West, it will be really awkward when somebody asks you, are you close to your parents? Because in Japan, people don't ask, ne, oya to nakai. Like, that's a very personal, strange question.
Right. But then they'll ask about age and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
In Japan.
So first you study, second you input, third you output, and then fourth you analyze how these people act. And I always tell my students, imagine there's a switch on your neck.
Yeah.
Down is Japan switch, up is American switch. So when I'm with Japanese people, I turn my switch down
Okay.
to Japan mode. And when I'm with Western foreigners, I switch onto foreigner mode. So you got to have two different personalities.
Interesting. I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm always on that kind
You're
of
always,
gaijin.
he's always that. But there's Japanese people, and I think we talked about this
Yeah.
before. すっごい欧米人っぽい日本人もいる。
Right.
例えば、
True.
好きか嫌いかは別として、ホリエモン。
Okay, yeah.
He's a guy that's like, I tell you what I want, I tell it directly.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of Japanese like rich bosses and stuff like
Right.
that. There's many benefits to learning a Western mindset. Also.
Fantastic. That's very interesting. Very interesting to learn all about that social dynamics. And I think a lot of those English courses or regular textbooks, you don't learn anything about social dynamics.
No.
So next I want to talk with you, Nick, is about how has learning Japanese and being able to speak Japanese changed your life?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's basically changed my life only positively, right?
Yeah.
俺ね、大学生の時に日本の歴史とか、ちょい日本語も勉強したんだけど、でみんなに なんでビジネスとか心理学とかね、お金になる専門にしないのってずっと文句言われて、and now I'm doing better than any of them because I chose this just one language that opened up all these doors.
Yeah.
You know.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And I think when you study things like business, those worlds are always changing.
Always changing, yeah.
Yeah, the things I learned in business school, I studied business in university. It's super old.
Yeah.
But I think like a language, it's always there.
Always there. Oh, and AI will never replace good communication.
Right, yeah. They can translate, but if you can actually speak the language of the other person, you speak to their heart. It kind of opens up a whole new world of opportunities.
There you go. There you go.
It's like Aladdin before he gets the lamp, and then after.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And he's handsome like Aladdin too.
And dresses up like him sometimes. Yeah, so anyway, Nick, so I've seen that you've made a really great course recently, and it's all about immersion.
Yeah, so what I did was I took an entire year to immerse in Spanish.
A whole year.
A whole year, and I'm still doing it every day.
Yeah.
Just like you guys. But I recorded everything I do for immersion. This type of immersion. You should do this every day. You should do this every day. And I made a timed plan. So what you should do every week, what you can watch. I made a list of TV shows. And then I also made immersion content for Japanese people to watch.
Fantastic.
So this is a 1-month boot camp that teaches you how to immerse. So basically, I'm training you to be able to do it by yourself for the rest of your life. So you could do this first with English, do it for 5 years, become fluent in English, and then do the exact same thing in Chinese if you want.
There you go. Once you learn how to do it, it's really good.
It's a very, I wouldn't say difficult, but it's a time-consuming course. And of course, you can do it at your pace, or if you need to bring it down, you bring it down. But I think it's one of the best English courses Japan has ever had, and it's the first type of immersion. They've never had something like this in Japan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, you can keep trying those textbooks, you can keep trying those get fluent in, 1-month courses, or you can actually learn how to do it straight from the person that's done it himself.
Yep.
And nothing replaces real life experience.
Nice. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So yeah, we're going to have all the links, everything. If you're interested in immersion, it's the best way to do English immersion. You're going to learn everything about it.
Yeah.
And then also get content.
Yeah. And we have a month's worth of content. So we have 30 videos.
Yeah.
25 immersion videos and 5 social dynamics videos. So with the social dynamics videos, you'll learn about how to interact with Westerners and how our interactions are different than Japan. It's actually one of the most, everybody's like, we love the social dynamics videos. And we also have podcasts, so you can do passive immersion on the train.
Right.
6 hours worth of content. So,
Fantastic. So guys, take the step towards being able to acquire a language and then go out and do it. It's your decision whether you do it or not. But guys, if you keep, just fiddling around, if you keep messing around on this, doing the same thing over and over again and never actually being able to speak the language, that's Einstein's definition of insanity.
Yeah.
So try a new approach, try out immersion.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for having me on, buddy.
Man, thanks for coming on.
Look at that elbow there.
There we go.
There we go. All right, man.
If you take one thing away, learn about the strong handshake.
There we go.
Awesome, brother. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure. Okay, guys, stay happy, stay healthy, do your best with your English studies. じゃあ、ありがとう。また今度。Thank you, brother.
Thanks, man.
Awesome.